Yes. Oh, let's just see what you came up with. Because I've been defining help for years. The police has been interrupting any help. And the only place that would help me was MHMR. And then they have sabotaged the systems. All the other places just were denying services and consistent. Who is this? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, this is fine right here. No, I kind of in particular, I got my space because it's invaded. Okay.
Your voice is coming in pretty good. That's okay. So this is all right?
Yes.
All right. I tell you, before we begin, and that was one of the reasons I'm also referring to my speaker today, is I wanted to discuss about the videotaping and stuff. But one of the things
So you're not concerned about the staff denying services in the team, which is felony? Taping is a felony, but depriving someone of services and schemes and sabotaging to keep them in social workers contributing to abuse and mind games, unsolicited abuse, covering for crime. Well, let's talk about that first. It's okay to record crimes.
Some of what you just said is right, and some of it is not quite correct.
So what happens when I'm not recording? They're psychologically abusive and they're keeping me in my abuse and depriving me of services they've been doing it years. So what I'm trying to do is show that my abuser is allowed to control all these locations so people can finally get their charges. But it's making it hard because they want to make sure I'm not recording the crime so they can get away with another 5+ years. They already has been. The therapist kept on canceling appointments and used her power to be psychologically abusive and gaslight and slander me when she was depriving me of assistance.
At this moment, there will be no criminal activity, I can assure you that.
Well, what do you have for helping me? I'm asking him what he's done to help me as a social worker and with skills, what he's going to do to help me.
I'm putting my phone over here.
That's what they do. My doctor did that at the Westmoreland location, and then when he found out I wasn't recording, then he started being psychologically abusive. I think that there are schemes to deprive me of services, and I'm trying to expose that, which is criminal.
So at this moment, where is your phone? So now we have all our phones up here. Actually, one of the other things we thought about was, just to make sure everybody is safe. This is your only phone line?
Yes.
Would it be okay if we take ours, put them together, and lock them up for this moment?
No, because the FBI may be on my phone. Why would you have to go through that extreme?
Well, because what we have discovered is that there's a YouTube channel.
Oh, if you're locking them up, that doesn't make sense if my phone is not recording. Why are you covering for crime? What's your name? Okay, why aren't you concerned about people depriving me of services and keeping me in abuse and bullying me and abusing their power with mental health providers to bully, gaslight, and mistreat me? Well, we're not talking about that. You have a phone right here. Why would you need to lock up the phone? Why is it not sufficient just to put it right here? Are you trying to keep someone else that may be on it that's doing law enforcement from hearing what you're about to do? Why did you need? The FBI could be on it. I don't know. I've been reporting crimes for years, but I don't know why you need to lock up my phone for me to have a discussion with you. My rights have been violated to an extreme a long time.
That's why I'm.
Yeah, no, you don't need to lock them up. You see it's not recording, that's fine. I think there's some corruption and crimes are being committed, and it's time people got their consequences.
That's what I observed from your YouTube videos, obviously doing that. The policy of MHMR is that?
Let's talk about first, we'll talk about the policy, because I've already heard that. What have you done regarding my domestic violence crisis that you made me wait to get help with?
It's not time to get past this. We'll get to that after.
Okay, so he wants to sabotage that help, if he made me wait a long time to find resources, he wouldn't tell me. And they've been doing this 5+ years, and there's been no accountability for case managers covering for abuse and condoning it, and being psychologically abusive as well.
And I'm sorry, in addition to sometimes a little bit of it, I also need to go to so that I can, understand. You use the word sabotage a few times, would you define sabotage?
Yes, so for example, that, knowing that, if you have my YouTube channel, you see that I'm getting violated, do you have any solutions? Do you see that I'm being deprived of law enforcement?
Sabotage the word itself, as you've used it.
You've seen the YouTube channel, you're aware of the YouTube channel, so you're not concerned about the 20 false arrests and me being violated, you're just concerned about me reporting caseworkers that are psychologically abusive. That's what you're concerned about.
So sabotage would mean that somebody is doing that.
You've seen the YouTube channel? Okay, so what we want to concentrate on today is not me getting violated and protecting one of your patients, like the ACT program is supposed to do. We want to concentrate on me recording crimes and abuse.
Sabotage. My definition of sabotage is somebody who is intentionally involved in a process and prohibiting the continuation of what would be a legal process happening. And from the YouTube channel that I've seen the videos, I haven't seen any sabotage.
Okay, well, if they are supposed to offer case management and referrals, I've been in a domestic violence crisis and they haven't been very supportive to get me out of it, and sabotage housing as well.
So someone is intentionally taking action.
Yeah, and where's the therapist? I thought she was coming.
I don't know. I'm not able to participate. Each of what you just shared is of course a concern, but we have to work with beginning what each person is able to do. When you reported to some of the individuals about what has happened in your past, that is
Current.
and current, that is the things that Adrianne and others are needing to work with. The doctor is working with you on those processes. But the policy, we want to make sure that when things are being recorded, they're being published. And when they're being published, that means that it's violating the individual.
They're committing crimes. I'm not being heard. What do you want me to do when MHMR abuses power and want to be considered in narcissistic abuse? Gaslight and slander me, deprive me of services like an army full of other people. What would you have me do? Because we're not addressing that. Yes, like when I report abuse, they start gaslighting me and punishing me like they're letting my abuser control them. So then they denied after I reported my abuse, the job search, because MHMR is the only place that will help me, period. And I think that's for the smear campaign. They're blaming me for what they're doing. Their misconduct, they're blaming me for it instead of taking responsibility for what they're doing that's inappropriate and can possibly be criminal. Depriving someone of services in the system.
The discussion you had with the doctor, the MHMR doctor that you posted on YouTube, I did listen to the complete conversation. I didn't pick up any sabotaging or any gaslighting.
Well, if she has access to my channel, why would so many parties cover for police arresting me 20 times? And then so concerned about me recording psychological abuse that MHMR staff want to be enlisted in. And then scheming to deprive me of the services that other people get.
In that discussion, there was nothing other than.
I don't understand why we're not speaking of the police department violating one of your clients. And on the ACT team, there's responsibilities if you see abuse to report it. And then there's also programs and help that people get on the ACT team that I've been deprived of, housing and a lot of other services.
When it comes to the discussion with the doctor at that time, your choice to go ahead and publish that was for what?
Because I want to show how people, if I'm reporting PTSD and I'm trauma, why are they saying that I'm schizophrenic to cover for crimes? I want to be treated for what I'm telling people.
So your discussion with the doctor, you believe was the doctor covering up the crime?
If I'm telling people for years that I have trauma and they put in their falsified information to conceal crimes that I'm schizophrenic and have delusions with true infectious events, I think that's I think that is a malpractice lawsuit. If they wanna,
The doctor was putting things into the records that are false.
there's been lies in multiple different, hospital records. Blatant lies that can be shown, multiple different hospitals, blatant lies. So when I was at Hickory Trail, okay, so, they would not let me, see, they got so crooked, they wouldn't even give me the court date. So a man came that has been part of crimes in the past. So he says that, that, I can't think, I think it was Corey something. So I told him about abuse with my child, and he said, yes, CPS investigator said, I said, no, they can't find it. Why don't you be a witness? And he had to go.
The discussion with the doctor at that time, the decision to go ahead and publish her onto the YouTube was because you believe she was doing that.
Okay. When I go to the hospitals,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to, when I go to the hospitals, I'm slandered in the medical file. Blatant lies, like 30 or 40 lies. Blatant lies trying to set me up for mental illness, saying that I did and said things that I did not do. Blatant lies that they can pull back the camera footage. Right. So what I'm trying to show is if I'm telling people over and over again that I have PTSD and trauma from this, what I'm going through, and they want to keep on giving me treatment for schizophrenia and delusions, I'm not being heard. That's a lawsuit for malpractice.
So my question goes back again, the purpose of publishing her conversation with you.
I wanted to show the world how even at MHMR, something that's insignificant, some people would view as insignificant, how I'm treated. People abuse power to contribute to narcissistic abuse and cover for crime.
No,
And they're using their.
The doctor treated you very well, very professional.
Well, I haven't heard from the Adult Protective Services.
No, I'm talking about the discussion.
I haven't heard from Adult Protective Services, but multiple parties in MHMR have responsibility to report abuse and haven't been doing it. They've been covering for it.
As long as the abuse is already reported.
I haven't heard from them. What's going to be done?
Doctor, I'm going back to the discussion for just the doctor there. I understand what you're saying, all of it. But the doctor in that particular discussion is, I heard very professional, and sharing information and questioning.
Well, what's the problem then?
Well, the problem is that that's an entity who's being, that's an interview that's taking place privately between a doctor and a patient.
No, because I want people to know that I cannot be treated for what I'm telling people that I have. I have to be treated for having delusions and schizophrenia so people can back up and don't get their felonies. I think abusing power to that extreme to might give me a false diagnosis so people can get away with crime is sadistic. And for people to get away with it so long, it's sick. Oh, well, they have in the past. Yeah, so that she said that she has records. If anyone would do law enforcement, you can see blatant lies in hospitals, in jails, and if my abuser's controlling my environment, that makes people conspirators. If you want to conspire with the abuser, cover for him, gaslight me, slander me, and help him get away with crimes, then you make yourself conspirators.
Two or more entities have agreed upon committing some sort of a crime and that they are working together.
Yes.
The fact that I have knowledge that something occurred doesn't make me a conspiracy.
If you go along with the conspiracy, that makes you a conspirator.
Actively go along.
You're right.
That would be a definition.
Yes, if you see someone's getting violated and then you want to claim that they have paranoia, so these people don't rack up their felonies, that makes you a conspirator. If you have my access to my YouTube channel and you see I'm being deprived of law enforcement and you want to use your power to gaslight me and give me no compassion for being violated.
I did see many events of you discussing with law enforcement, and I would like to commend you on the fact that you're a great advocate for yourself.
I have to be. I've tried to. It's 6 years of going into insanity.
You've done wonderful. And when you're recording, wherever you are in your environment, that's acceptable, and you can do that again according to the law, like I said. What we're saying is that whenever there's going to be a discussion with staff at MHMR, not because we're part of a conspiracy, because I have to make sure that's my job, is to make sure that somebody who is violating the law, that I will be involved with it. And I've done this for many years with many people. But at this point on, I can see the fact that MHMR person is actively, as we define conspiracy, as we define gaslighting, as we define sabotage. If they're not in that realm, then the requirement's going to be that the phones are, I put mine there, where we have all our phones visible so that there's not going to be any recording. And once you record, we can't make it. And of course, we can go to YouTube and put in a formal request that things are removed. But at this point, what we wanted to do was just to meet with you to say, our policy with you is, I guarantee you, we do not record people.
I'm just not being heard. We're not concentrating on the misconduct that I've had to endure years for mental health providers being listed in narcissistic abuse and gaslighting and their slime monkeys.
I've seen and heard, definitely, I believe you, and this is not a question, not a point, but that you have been heard serving.
I haven't been heard what's been done. What happened to adult protective services? Well, who's reporting that law enforcement is being denied?
Well, that would be the question for them.
Excuse me. Just want to know where you all are from. Any of y'all park right there by the gate?
I'm in the silver Impala, which is right in front of the door.
Okay, that's fine. We just don't, there's some cars over there by the gate.
Oh, on this side?
Right.
No, we're both
And our
parked.
garbage truck can't get back into that.
So
gate.
we're both parked in front of the
Building.
the ramp.
Okay, fine. We just wanted to make
Thank you
sure
for
it was-
checking.
Thank you.
Again, from what I have seen posted, is that your message has gotten across, not any communication with you.
I'm not getting law enforcement. I still don't have access to my child. No one's reporting the abuse. They're complying with it. no one's giving me any referrals to anyone that will help me. I've been stuck in it. People sabotaging services, blatantly lying. I know MHMR has a reunification program, and they blatantly lie on services and what the ACT team is supposed to do. And the legal, I've been deprived of legal that everyone else gets on the ACT team. Their scheme is depriving me of legal, so people don't get the crime on their phones. No, I'm not being heard. The problem of legal is solely powerful people don't get their charges. So I don't get services that other people get, and I'm trying to show that conspiracy, which is a felony charge. If you choose at your power, whether it's MHMR, wherever you choose to deprive someone of services in a conspiracy to violate their rights, is criminal. And I do not get services anywhere. And I'm trying to expose that someone is allowed to control my environment doesn't use it.
But again, as we sat here together and we defined the word conspiracy, gaslighting, and sabotage, nothing just met into that definition.
Yes, because when I met with Kayla said that I wasn't giving people a chance or something. And I said, what are you talking about? And she would not address that. And then we went to the legal library. Kayla was, what I'm trying to expose is someone is controlling my environment. So Kayla was very supportive, a great therapist. So we went to the legal library. She was on her phone. So the lady from the legal library pulled me away for a minute to show me how to get set up on their program online. I came back, Kayla had closed like 3 books that the lady had given me to file charges, try to file court civil rights claim for abuse. So she had opened up those pages and Kayla closed all of them. So I said, why would you do that? And she claims that she took pictures of it and will give them to me later. I said, that still doesn't make sense. So anyway, she never gave me the pictures, and we were supposed to go to the legal library. Now she's scheming to sabotage therapy altogether, and that's been a pattern for years. Blatant lies to keep me from therapy because this is traumatic. When the government is allowed to abuse power in all your environments to keep you from a support system, love, compassion, and even have these people abuse their power to be emotionally abusive and psychologically abusive and gaslight me in the process.
But Kayla closing, and I can't go through every thing because obviously.
She saw my phone was glitching, and at first she was compassionate and loving, and now she's being narcissistic. After I reported the abuse, she switched up.
This discussion here that we're having today,
You don't think that my abuser controlling a therapist is, you don't think that that's sick?
Well, I'm wondering, would this be something that you would ordinarily maybe record in
I just don't understand why these people aren't being held accountable for being conspirators. When will it change?
Remember again, he defines conspiracy.
And why would she close the books up after we left briefly for me to get signed up for the email to use the services online? Why would she close the book and then tell me she recorded it and then never gave me the pictures?
We can certainly follow up to see if she said she took photos and everything. We can follow up.
I think that someone may have been, if someone that should not have been, I think someone is controlling my environment, and that's what I'm trying to
You're
expose, which is
thinking that
criminal.
maybe somebody was controlling too.
Right, because she switched up, and this has been going on years. People were threatening to hang up in my face. He told me that he was gonna give referrals, and it's just like people just keep me on hold. That's psychologically abusive. If someone says my life's in jeopardy, my phone is hacked, I have 20 false arrests, that is pretty extreme. And something you would think that someone would have you wait 2 or 3 weeks and sit and marinate. And in fact, not only 2 or 3 weeks, but I've been sitting and marinating 5 years plus. I go to churches, even the church I'm going to now, I talk to people about my abuse, and now they just let me sit in it. They don't say anything about it. That's it. I think that someone is controlling my environment, which is what I'm trying to control. Church members, if you appeal your life and you have 20 false arrests, they don't just ignore you like they've been doing 5 years plus for
How
me.
many people are controlling you?
When you saw the YouTube channel, what do you think?
It seems like that.
Okay, so you heard of the 20 false arrests? What do you think about that?
I thought that you thought that one person was in charge of getting those false arrests.
If someone were to do law enforcement, they have dismissed a lot of cases. When you're reporting abuse, you don't repetitively get criminal trespasses. Can I pull up on my phone the CPS Arlington location where the security guard lied on me?
Well, I saw certain things.
Did you see what the security? I can pull up on my phone where a security guard lied on me, blatantly lied, and I can pull up on my phone where a worker at Metrocare Staff was trying to set me up. I can show it to you right now. She lied and said I was being abusive to her when she was covering up for crimes being committed on the network. I can show you those if you have.
Our particular policy is that we're going to have no recording during this particular processes in our facility. So, again, I'm speaking as the compliance and rights officer who is here to advocate. But I'm also to make sure that when it comes to recording, to let you know that
We're not addressing staff misconduct. I have that, but you don't want me reporting crimes. They haven't wanted me to report crimes years. So what are we going to do about the staff misconduct? How 20 false arrests and how I'm being treated for having delusions, just so these people don't get their charges, and how I'm deprived of referrals and assistance that the ACT program gives in a conspiracy. We're not addressing that. And then lies and blatant lies on housing.
All I need is something that I need back, I need back investigated because they're giving other people legal services and not me.
Multiple different services. I said housing, or psychological abusive, slander.
Correct. And so all I'm asking is when it comes to misconduct, what you perceive as misconduct at MHMR, if you.
Have you seen what the workers did and how they talked to me? Have you seen how some of them blatantly lied on me?
I have seen some of the videos.
Have you seen how some of them blatantly lied? And then had to leave when I was reporting abuse and threatened to hang up in my face when I was reporting my
I
abuse.
saw
And walked
someone,
off in the middle of conversation.
I saw someone recently who got on the phone with you, I believe, and she was making a split consistent with you.
She was being condescending. Did you see that?
I did hear.
And then she told, you didn't see how psychologically abusive she was after she heard all that experience. She said, now we're leaving.
I'm not sure which part you're referring to, I didn't hear anything that was abusive. If you believe that somebody is MHMR is misconduct in any way, what I'm saying.
So, hold on, let me understand. So, a social worker that overheard a conversation with multiple conspirators and a felony charge of sabotaging someone's parental rights, overhearing a CPS worker, she claims, be psychologically abusive and loud talk me when I had to go through this extreme amount of corruption and abuse. She overheard it, and what she wanted to do with overhearing that chaos was mistreat me and threaten me and say we're going now and deflect on any resolutions to the situation. So she was supposed to be a social worker. She did not try to report the conspiracy to anyone. And then she demanded that we leave. She said, "Are you ready to go?" To ignore and not give me any resources or any. And she witnessed the situation, and nothing has been done while she witnessed it cover for conspiracy to keep me away from my job. That they have gotten away with ever since 2014. I'm denied law enforcement. Why can't the ACT team treat me like other people and stop gaslighting me, being psychologically abusive, scheming to deprive me of services, demand that I'm not reporting their crimes? Why can't we concentrate on that? I've had to endure this years. Look at the videos where all the other MHMR, because what's happening is my abusers listen to people in my environment that's close to me is psychological abuse. He did it at work. My supervisor, if someone is allowing this abusive man that's not mentally stable to do all of this, that is insane.
What you can do, that's what they do to you. Now, at this point, what I'm saying is that if there is something specific, because what I hear and what you hear may be two different things. I need to know, when I'm there listening, for example, the discussion with the doctor.
Okay, let me pull up where blatant lie. I want you to see where blatant lies for MHMR workers and where they threaten to hang up in my face from me reporting abuse, blatant lies, slander like Kayla did. We're deflecting. I want to show you. You don't want to see it? Okay, so let me make sure I understand. The only thing that you're worried about at this time is not misconduct, just that I don't record crimes. That's the only thing we want to concentrate on. You don't want to have any evidence of misconduct with your workers. I want you to see that there's a conspiracy that you're not aware of. I can pull up these videos where you can see that I was blatantly lied on and slandered. And Kayla was along with it too. Yes, they are, and I would like to show it to you. Okay, let me show you where to go. Because we're not concentrating on crimes. If MHMR, which I think that they're doing, or allowing my abusers to control them for whatever reason that they are, they're making themselves conspirators.
If you would like, I can give you some paper, and what I'm asking is that you would document this kind of thing.
So you don't want to see it?
I hear what you're trying to say. Quite a few, right?
Yeah, because it's, extreme and you got to see it to believe it.
So you're saying that you would choose not to document something in writing to provide?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm trying to show you where to go.
What I mentioned is what I can hear and what you hear may be two different things.
That's why I wanted to show it to you. Because I get gaslit and slander for cover up. It's happened years. These people are working on their phones so much and their laptops. So why don't, if you said that what you see may be different than what I see, are you gaslighting me? Okay, well, let me show you where the blatant workers. Well, what I mean is that when I expose crimes and corruption going on, for it to be deflected and then reversed on me, you said what you perceive and what I perceive are different. So I want you to see the crime so that there won't be cover up. And you can keep your workers from covering for crimes and bullying me in the process and slandering me in their files and reports. Because since I reached out, like for years, they started mistreating me, lying and slandering to keep me from services. It's like someone is controlling my environments and having to punish me for reporting them. I'm showing you where to look for that because you said that you didn't think. I think that maybe you have some integrity issues because you said my version may be different than your version. So I want you to see where I'm blatantly lied on. If you hear that one person blatantly lied, I don't understand why that's so hard. Are you covering for it? I want you to see where I was blatantly lied on by caseworkers so you can address the misconduct that I had to endure years. I want you to see because I want us to be on the same page. I think that's vital. I've been fighting for my life a long time. And I would like for you, what's your position? Okay, so you're the main party I need to speak with about this misconduct. And if you refuse to see the misconduct and you're covering for it and you'll let my abuser control your staff, that makes you guys conspirators. Let me show you. You don't want to see. So you just wanna go along with your statement of what we're saying is two different things, what we're saying is two different things, and you don't wanna see blatant lies by workers. You don't wanna see that.
When I hear from the last, again, it's not.
I can show you the blatant lies, I don't understand why you don't wanna see it. You gotta see if I'm recording, you gotta see closer. That's what, when Kayla was looking up under the desk trying to see if I was recording. So if someone is controlling my environment and trying to make sure I'm not recording crime, Kayla kept looking up under the desk, looking at my phone, while the, victim's advocate was, being psychologically abusive. If you're conspiracy, in a conspiracy, you're depriving your services that you give someone else in the team, that's a felony charge.
I am not deciding.
Well, they've been doing it years, that's what I'm trying to show you, how blatant lies to keep me away from services, support systems, and then psychological abuse in the process. Adrianne gave me a TV. When I was so terrified for my life, Adrianne is a caseworker. I was so terrified for my life, I wouldn't go anywhere, and no one would help me, period, around me. So I finally went to the park and started having a life. Adrianne called me that Sunday and asked for my TV back when she was off, when I finally went to the park. So if these people are controlling, you want me to put the phone down? You don't have to do it. Okay. So if someone, why would she call me on her day off on a Sunday and take back a TV she gave me? It was a small little TV, but I mean, that's weird for her to call me on her day off and ask for the TV back that she gave me.
You would like to.
And she also called me at a domestic violence organization.
You would like me to look into Taylor taking back a small TV.
That was Adrianne, I'm not being heard.
No.
She's in Westmoreland. I'm trying to show you the pattern of mental health workers that choose to be used in a conspiracy for psychological abuse and cover up.
My jurisdiction is
I'm just giving you a track record of history so you know how long I've been going through this and how many workers wanted to conspire with crime. Sabotaging someone's rights in conspiracy is a criminal charge. And then abusing your power as a mental health provider to be sadistic, psychologically abusive, and fulfill crimes. You keep saying legal, they're not giving services they give everyone else, including legal. There's a reason that outside of the mental health, and I told them I want to be proactive in my life, get involved in programs, and they're not making me aware of any. And we can do support groups, they haven't told me about any of it. I was arrested in the South at New Beginners in Garland, I have evidence of that, do you want to see it? I'm just trying, if I'm telling mental health providers that I'm, talking about the government and they want to call me paranoid and cover for them, that's criminal. If they are conspirators with these crimes, they have to be held accountable. I would like to have the case managers advocate for me. What happened with the report to Adult Protective Services? The report to Adult Protective Services, I haven't heard from them. And if you see my YouTube channel, who are you willing to report to chaos to? I'm not being heard. If you've seen the chaos on my YouTube channel, who are you reporting it to? And then the doctor said that she was gonna report it to Adult Protective Services, I never got a call from them. Okay, so let me try to understand. So this is MHMR acting. And then you help people with supposedly severe mental illness. If I have a severe mental illness and the police are violating me, who is going to protect me from them? And they're covered for all the crimes and assault me and arresting me in a domestic violence organization, get me in jail with time served. If you're gonna cover for the crimes, I mean, if you guys let my abusers control you like you've been doing years, there's been no consequences for it.
Providing legal and mental health services, support case management.
Advocacy and information on programs that could help. Case managers help with advocacy and directing someone to assistance to get out of situations.
What kind of situations?
If you know that I've had 20 false arrests,
And so you're wanting the case manager to provide some sort of advocacy because of your arrest by the police department.
Yes, and being targeted, yes. Some kind of any help, direction, not be psychologically abusive, ignore me, blow me off, like the pattern that I've experienced 6+ years.
Most likely that would probably be in your referral to the internal recruiters like this law enforcement. They would be the ones that would be responsible for investigating. So case manager.
Okay, so let me make sure I understand. So as a referral, there's not any, this is a domestic violence crisis that all these conspirators want to be involved in, the government. So you don't want me to have any organization that combats, my abuse, like a domestic violence organization. You want me to call corrupt police, internal affairs to cover for it. You don't want to give me a program, the reunification program that I heard through the grapevine that you guys have. That you sabotaging assistance and sabotaging, information that could help me in this crisis. So what you're recommending, you're not recommending any organizations, you're recommending internal affairs to go back to the corrupt police that is denied me of law enforcement. There are organizations that help domestic violence, my abusers, and it allows to control all my environments for profit. So, and mainly the police department. So you want me to go back to those people that chose to be criminals and conspire in this abuse? Nothing is being done. I don't know. I want case management. I've been waiting 2 weeks to see what he came up with. I'm on the X team, and that's supposed to be for really mentally ill people. And if I'm really mentally ill, and the government's violating someone that's supposedly handicapped, who do you report that to? I'm not being heard. If the government is violating someone that's supposed to be mentally ill and have a handicap, and the government has chosen to violate them for profit, what do you guys do in a conspiracy? Go along with it? Cover for it?
That would be the Office of Civil Rights in Washington, D.C. We can get you that information.
Okay, so, I've heard women that, had their advocates go with them, support. I didn't hear about going to the FBI or any law enforcement to set me up with an advocate. See, for my abuse, I need the FBI or the CIA. I'm not like the average women that can just plead their abuse and in a conspiracy. I'm deprived of services. So I need something extreme to flee my abuse. I'm not being, why are the services being withheld from me? If I don't know about the services, I won't get them.
And you're talking about the services that you've already referred to that.
Right, but I had to find those services on my own. The X team has not told me about any services. They've been sabotaging them in multiple different locations. Blatantly lied about housing, blatant lies. I'm blatant lies about housing. All locations, all caseworkers. What do you, as a director, what do you have that can help me?
So the question is with MHMR,
What kind of programs that you have that can help me? As a director, what can you do? You don't want me to know? Okay.
Now, from my department, compliance and rights, you make sure that everybody's adhering to the state and federal laws. So what I would be doing in my capacity.
Well, how would you know if they're abiding by it if you don't know what they're supposed to be doing? If you don't know what the Act team is supposed to provide people, how would you know if they're complying with the state regulations if you don't know what they're supposed to do?
Well, the question is, what is it that you think they're not getting from them?
I'm not being heard.
Not being heard?
Yeah. What are they supposed to do? Because for years they won't tell me at a multitude of locations. It's a red flag and a pattern. Why is it so hard for someone just to be honest and tell me what services they offer and all schemes to sabotage their services at all locations I'm at? But it's not okay for the police department to interrupt any help I can get and enlist people to let me sit and be involved in the conspiracy. I asked you what services do you have with the ACT team, and then I can tell you what services I like, because they will not tell me what is offered. They're sabotaging services. So can you tell me? Well, you know that I have 20 false arrests. you know,
Can we talk the rest of it, and to go into the discussion? possibly?
well, if you know that someone that's supposed to have a mental illness and the government's, violating them, who's going to be an advocate for that person? I thought the ACT team was supposed to do that.
So
Is that correct?
everything, part of what they provide is advocacy.
Okay, so if they know I have 20 false arrests, why have they had me wait months to do nothing?
What would you have actually do about it?
I think that someone needs to interrupt and people need to get their charges. Because this is not, if I'm asking you to play year after year, I'm asking people on the team what they do, and everywhere I go, they want me to tell them what they're supposed to do in a conspiracy.
And we talk with, as far as I'm aware, it would be the internal affairs of, the police department to decide about the referendum.
I'm not being heard. We're the organization that can combat police corruption. I have 20 false arrests in the domestic violence abuse situation. My abusers are allowed to control my environment where I live, MHMR, family members, shelters, and then that makes these locations conspirators, and no one has received their charges.
Usually controls all of your
Yes, I use the bathroom. Can I use the bathroom? Okay. I don't know where to go.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I should have it memorized, but I don't yet.
I think I've got the rest of and I'll have responses for you as far as ACT and case management, whatever connections there are.
So I also want to discuss that, the job search, because all across the board, everywhere I go, the police department is scheming that they deprive me of services. All domestic violence locations and multiple different other locations, the police department just goes and interrupts any help that I can get. So I appreciated the job search and the therapy, because I made me feel like I was re-engaging and, doing something with my life. Because I like to go to support groups. I like to be proactive. I want to have a job. I want to have my own place. I want to have a car, but I can't interrupt the false arrest. Someone waiting till I build things up and then interrupt it and take it and haven't had any accountability. So I told Edward a long time ago, please, I want to do something. I don't want to stay stagnant. And he let me sit in it. No domestic, no, Edward was the other guy. I told him I wanted to get involved, support groups, programs that they offer, with MHMR, all programs, and he told me about nothing.
Oh, okay.
So, and then the person with the job search is now denying the job searches. We work together weekly to help with employment, and I enjoyed doing that. And he has stopped it, and he said it had something to do with what Kayla and the advocate put in their report. Well, I've been deprived of services for years. My abuser, I believe, is controlling my environment, and when he's upset, he retaliates and have locations that things that mean a lot to me is interrupted. So what can we do?
Is he a very powerful?
He is a very powerful man, and he's controlling the police department. That's why they don't investigate anything that I report. And then my phone is being hacked. Kayla saw evidence of it. She made a little video for me. So at first she was wonderful. But what I'm trying to show is people in my environments are enlisted in my abuser's abuse, psychologically and in other ways as well by depriving me of services.
How long have you been with that?
I don't know, but I want some resolutions. What are some resolutions? Because I haven't had any for years.
That's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, what did she come up with? Because you had me wait a long time. You said that you were gonna come up with something.
This is what we've come up with this week right here.
Oh, so what happens. So when I may have an ex person, and then when they get caught, they give me someone that's more abusive to control me. So now Edward would actually help a little bit more, and he was very loving and compassionate, even though he was sabotaging services. So the pattern of it is they give me someone that will be psychologically abusive. I don't know why he would talk to me like that if he knows that I had 20 false arrests. And if my abuser's controlling you, you guys, this is criminal, and you guys need your charges. The abuse of power as in a mental health providers use that to psychologically abuse someone for profit. Year after year, people need to be held accountable. So I don't know why he would think that this conversation or me being targeted on the ACT team violated 2 kids taken away from corruption, attack, hit and runs, why he would condone that and disregard my value, like an army full of people do at church.
Would you be comfortable telling me who the user is?
It's Jason Gardner, Vivid Images, but I'm not being heard. Vivid Images, yes, in Baton Rouge. It's some kind of graphic design business, but we're deflecting on why your workers are not abiding by the following protocol, and why his solution for me being violated is to have a conversation with you, or so that I don't report the crimes that people have been getting away with years. Scheming, they've been scheming to provide me of therapy, housing, all services. In a conspiracy, that's a felony charge. And if your workers are indeed doing that, that's criminal. Yes. So what is going to be done? Well, if he knows I'm in a domestic violence crisis, why would he think to get you so I don't report crimes? Why would that be his solution?
The reason I'm here.
It's because I was reporting crimes.
No, publishing crimes.
Right.
You're
right, but we can't address the crimes that were being committed.
In your mind.
I keep trying to show you where people have lied on me blatantly from the MHMR, and you don't want to see it. It's not in my mind. Or you trying to slander me to cover up for these crimes makes you a conspirator. If you're a director and you're over these people that are committing the crime, I think that my abuse is controlling you guys, and you guys need your consequences. He's grower to me and keeping me from helping all my environments that he's been doing years. And I'm just ready for people to get their charges. You're not going to stop until you're held accountable. It hasn't stopped in 6 years.
What I understand is that you're recording and you're publishing is because you believe that crimes have been.
What have they done? What have they done to help me in a domestic violence crisis? What have they done? I have heard them out, and I heard you out, and you've done nothing. You had me wait all that time. And you distracted on your laptop disregarding me.
The recording is because.
Don't record the crime. I got it.
And then the publishing is because you believe you're publishing crimes.
I can show you where they were lying and you don't want to see it. You want to cover for it.
No, I'm not here to cover it.
Well, okay, if you're here to investigate, let me show you the blatant lies by multiple MHMR staff.
And that's why I've been asking, that's why I've been making notes. So I've got these here that we're talking about.
So what's the solution? They and then bus pass to you. Are you gonna offer me a bus pass? My abuser definitely don't like me to have bus passes, and he's been able to keep me from bus passes years. Do you have any? You don't. Are you gonna have some later? Okay. Because that's why I don't think he wants me on the job program. But I have to get gaslit and blamed for them. Or are you gonna get me back on the job searches? Get someone else to help me?
What kind of job is it?
I like customer service. I have experience with that. Phone work.
Like, in public or outside?
It doesn't matter. First, but the problem of it is when I get jobs, my abuser's allowed to sabotage my environments and haven't had accountability. So each time I build myself up and regain things, he interrupts it with no accountability.
So Mr. Vivid Images is able to control and work.
Well, they lied on me. I can show you. If I had my phone, I can show you the text. It's like 6 or 7 people lied for my job. The reality is, and I have evidence.
What job?
This was Chime Solutions in Dallas. They locked me out of the system multiple different times where I couldn't work, and I'm a saver, but it cost me my check to be short because I would always get locked out. So this one particular time when my abuser was mad, they locked me out and then blamed me for it and almost terminated me. So I recorded all the interactions because multiple staff blatantly lied, and I still have those texts. So I went to the police department and I said, I want you to see where these people lied on me. They were called me lazy and psychologically abusive and said that I didn't want to work.
That's what
They said that when I was locked out of the system and could not. I told her technical support hung up in my face 5 times. I was on hold like 30 or 40 minutes each time calling in. And then when I finally got them, they hung up to go and to keep me from getting back in. So I told my supervisor, technical support keeps hanging up in my face and I cannot get through. And she told me I just didn't want to work. And I have the text proving it.
And that's when you determine.
They terminated me for, they said a YouTuber contacted them, which the police department blames their crimes on YouTubers, I believe, they have set up. If you look at the comments, it's very derogatory and negative. I believe that's control, because that's how my abuser communicated with me on fake pages. I don't know why he did it. But even though it sounds insane, there's evidence. It's not my fault that people are covering for someone that's not mentally stable, so reporting him sounds insane. The evidence is there, look at it. So if you let someone mentally ill control an army full of people, what the party that's getting victimized reports is going to sound mentally ill because people are letting someone that's not mentally stable control them. So you have to do things that you don't normally do, record people so you can show a conspiracy of 6+ years of everyone not having answers and letting you sit in abuse and doing nothing. And some of these people have an obligation to report or they commit crimes and they're still not doing it. So that doctor told me she was going to talk to Adult Protective Services. I've been waiting on the domestic violence organization. He's blowing me off, disregarding my value, and Eddie at least wouldn't do that.
I'm sorry, I mean to interrupt. Ask, did you bring your medication?
We haven't had any resolutions, as I haven't had resolutions years. I think that people are committing crimes, and they're leaving me in my abuse for profit.
And that's what I have done. And that's where,
But what are the resolutions? I waited weeks for him to give me some resources to help call somewhere or do something, and nothing's done. I just sit at church, they're doing the same thing, just looking off and just letting me sit in it for 5 years plus. Well, it stopped the stop and the arrest, because normally they used to have the police come and handcuff me and haul me out and see me. So at least I have 20 something false arrests, and it hasn't stacked up from that. I told Frank Crowley, I said, is 30 false arrests going to be the straw that broke the camel's back? 150 false arrests, 300.
what kind of arrest are if you don't mind
You
sharing?
saw the YouTube channel? I can show you an arrest.
You
I
know,
want to know because I
you
want us
know
to be on
what
I want us to be on the same page.
you know
Because
what
you
I'm
said that no, I'd like for you to see it. I wanted because you said that you weren't sure. I want us for us to be on the same page. I can't get help any other location, just MHMR, and they cover for crimes.
20 arrests.
Yes, and hospitals, and sending me to the hospital out of corruption.
So the 20 arrests had to do with being hospitalized.
I had 20 false arrests, and I was also hospitalized in corruption. And when I'm in the hospital, there's camera footage of me getting threatened multiple times by people who had already stopped me. I went to Hickory Trail, and someone threatened me. That was a new person. I went to Dallas Behavioral. I got threatened by 2 different people. One, they used to terrorize me at Austin Street. I tried to call the police because I get gang stalked so they can pull back the camera footage and they can see these people stalking me at these locations and cursing me out.
The arrests themselves, what were those charges?
They arrest me for criminal trespassing at public places and for trying to report crimes. They arrested me. And trying to get into domestic violence organizations for attending the support group. And they enlist people in my abuse to be psychologically abusive and cover for crimes.
It had to do with public environment, and you ended up being arrested for trespassing?
Right, they were sabotaging my ability, they were just staging reasons to arrest me.
Is that all 20 of them?
Yes, blatant lies.
They all had to do with
Well, no, in Alaska, when I ended up on my relationship with this guy, they didn't have an excuse, they blatantly lied and said I assaulted the officer and evaded arrest. But what I'm concerned about is why one of your representatives right here is heartless and don't care and he's supposed to be my caseworker. Can I get another one? Because at least Eddie was compassionate. I don't want someone that condones police arresting someone for profit 20 times, 2 kids taken away in corruption, ran off roads, identity theft, stop. heck phone. I don't want him to be, mistreat me over that.
What would you have the case manager do?
Be considerate and actually do what a caseworker is supposed to do. They're supposed to be a support system and not cover for crimes.
Well, there are two different things you mentioned. Being a support system, not covering for crimes. So one of the cases has to do with assaulting the officer.
Yeah, it was a blatant lie.
And then the other cases have to do with trespassing in public.
Yeah, they said I assaulted the officer and evaded arrest. Okay, here's the arrest at the convention center. I kept having these thefts, and I started reporting the police because the police are behind all of it. Corrupt police. So I tried to report my new battery pack to report the police. Came up missing the time I got it. I was the only one that had a theft. They put me out for reporting the theft of my new battery pack. This is how they do it.
I just showed you on my phone. They said I can't do police reports, and you got furious and put me out. So it's a crime for you to try to intimidate me and bully me for reporting the abuse I experienced. You were putting
They let someone threaten me and cover court at the same location, and threatened to put me out for over being threatened.
Why am I getting my super stuff for reporting the crime? I just showed you on the phone that they told me I can't report crimes there, so I don't know what to do.
Illegal criminal
Right, so I
trespass.
need to know where to go to report it, because if I get harassed, I don't know why police harass me like this. Because it's like you guys are bullying me, like you're working for my abuser. I'm getting it. Why are you angry with me because I had something stolen? I'm not. I want you to get your stuff so you can go do your report. So you're putting me out, forcing me to do a report, and I got an armband on? That's putting me further in danger? Are you covering for my boo? It's over there. So, I mean, isn't this a crime? To try to tamper with evidence? Because why would you get this a bit abusive because I'm reporting a crime of a theft, a $15, I don't understand why you guys are mistreating me like this for reporting a theft. You know what? Let's just put her in handcuffs and take her to jail. Why am I going to jail?
So some of these arrests had assaults, but what I'm more concerned about is why my sister blatantly lied to cover for this, and then she was terrified. And then why people in my environment, MHMR, are covering for crimes and want to be psychologically abusive and disregard my value. When I told them I have 20 false arrests, children taken from me in corruption, ran off roads, So if pill parties are allowing themselves to be controlled by abusers, I think that it's time that they all got their consequences. Regardless of whether they have a badge, a gun, if they're a judge, whatever the thing of the matter is, but it's still criminal. So I'm reporting to you that I would like another caseworker. He's disregarding my value, and this is a pattern. When they give me back up after I report a crime, and then they give me another caseworker, they want to make sure this caseworker is psychologically abusive and their control. So when my abuser's mad, they can let me have it. I've already been there, done it.
One of the case manager's positions, roles, as you see, and you know, is the fact that they've got to make sure that the victim.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about my domestic violence crisis, being bullied and mistreated. When you know someone that's supposed to be mentally ill getting violated by the government.
At the moment,
He has hurt you.
But what is being done to combat it?
Give him time.
You told me to give you time and you don't have anything you brought in to tell me not to report crimes being committed.
actually, he didn't bring me, I should contact.
Well,
him
I was disappointed that he
Right,
wanted
it's
me.
been initiated.
Yeah, I was disappointed that he had me wait all this time and Eddie had me wait months. If my abusers allowed to control these environments, that is criminal and it's time people got their charges. If I cannot even be safe at MHMR for getting treatment for trauma, if I'm not safe there, that's being controlled. That's
Let's do that.
Is this for 1 week?
That's 1 week, here's your session.
Oh, okay. I wish I would've known this came off that long ago, cause I did it one by one.
See, I'm not completely worthless. Okay, now, do you know what this is, this particular medication?
No.
So, it's quetiapine, which is a generic of Seroquel, which is an antipsychotic.
Okay.
And this is so that you could sign, take a receipt of that.
Okay.
And you know that you and Dr. Yahagi, I mean, y'all have a business relationship. And once a month, you meet with her. And that's when you guys put your heads together. You tell her your experience with what it is that y'all have prescribed, and then you can have opportunity to talk about maybe doing something else if it would be helpful.
Is, Taylor going to the therapy?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay, well then how am I going to get to the appointment?
Oh, you mean Kayla's appointments?
Mhm.
Well, she can come here.
Okay.
So,
Can you coordinate with her? Because that's,
yes, I will do that.
okay.
I will see to that. And then, when you were last in the hospital, is it your position that that was not warranted? That wasn't helping you? That wasn't something you needed?
Well, when I'm in the hospital, they put me in maximum security, like I assaulted someone along with people that have assaulted, instead of someone that's being abused, and they deprived me of therapy. And then social worker assistance as well, and were psychologically abusive.
And was the medication
And then I
different?
had thefts, when I go to hospitals, I have thefts too. But no, that's fine, I wanna concentrate on the clients.
Was the medication different though in the hospital?
And they was giving me this.
They're giving you this, anything else?
This is what's fine, what I'm on. Helper Max would be good, because it curbed my appetite.
Dr. Yahaki is open to prescribing others.
Okay.
So, yeah, and I think you guys should talk about that, the two of you. And I will talk to her once I.
Okay.
Anyway, it's really good to see you. Glad you came over and we had this meeting. I think it will bear fruit.
Okay, hopefully. So you're gonna find out why the job thing, and then, can I get a therapist? Cause it seems like Kayla is, compromised. I just want solutions.
Some of what we've discussed, obviously, as I shared with you, is outside my jurisdiction. What I can do is make sure those things we mentioned, that's within my jurisdiction, and we have the answers for. And I will arrange our discussion here, at some point, and I'll share with you what I have.
Okay.
And I mean, I've only worked with Kayla for a few months now, but I have not seen anything other than somebody who is very professional and cares.
Well, I saw that at first, but she switched up like a lot of people switch up. So my abusers allowed for that. My advisor can help people conspire with crime and conspiring with an abuser is criminal. And that's what I'm trying to build up a track record of.
Trying to encourage you to give her.
I did, and she slandered me, along with the victim's advocate. And then they put something in their file, they had me, ended the job places. So it's like I'm being punished for reporting abuse. Oh yeah, I probably did.
You wanna do 9?
Okay, all right.
You wanna do a little bit later than 9? Thanks, Paul. Thanks very much. You know,
You know, I mean, whatever, you, so you're completely not, you know, okay, well, yeah, so go ahead and, okay, are you gonna, you give me referrals, or after and what are you gonna get for the past, because I want to, I'll ask, but we don't have. They said that you're supposed to do. And then if I was a job search, okay.
But I was trying to do before, it's been a while back though.
I'm not seeing,
Oh, y'all girl, you get me nine. Paul.
Baby drive.
Right now, I'm